How's it going, everyone? Marriland here. Last time, I got done exploring Rustboro City. Today, I think I want to check out the gym. That's right, the Rustboro City Gym. It's right here, in the northern part of town. However, before taking on the gym, I want to discuss a few different Pokemon that you may want to have before taking on the gym, because being a rock-type gym, your normal type attacks are not going to do very much damage. Let's see what I have in the PC right now. These are all of the available Pokemon, except for, of course, Beautifly and Dustox, as well as any evolutions for that matter. Well, I guess these ones are evolved, but yeah. So, these are your various options that you'll have. There are a few more options, and I'll just kind of go over them. First and foremost, your starter Pokemon, okay? If you started with either Mudkip or Treecko, you'll be in great shape against this gym. Mudkip in particular is awesome. It learns Water Gun pretty darn early. I mean, you get it at level 5, and that's all you should need for the gym. As long as your Mudkip is at least level 12, you shouldn't have much difficulty at all. Since Rock-type Pokemon are weak against Grass, Water, Ground, and Fighting, you know, it does have a lot of weaknesses, but you don't have very much coverage for Fighting and for Ground. In fact, Mudkip is one of the few Pokemon to actually learn a Ground-type move. So yeah, don't count on that too much. Really, it's Water and Grass that are the main types that you'll be using. In fact, this Makuhita here, Makit, the one that you, or Makita, I don't know, that's the only fighting type Pokemon you'll have access to unless you go crazy and evolve your Shroomish, or if you have Combusken. But that's at level 16 if you started with a Torchic. In fact, that might very well be your only option if you plan on using Torchic against the gym. You have to level it up to Combusken at level 16, and then it'll learn Double Kick, a fighting type move, and that should make quick work of the gym leader's Pokemon. In fact, any of the trainers in the gym, it'll just do wonders. But not everyone wants to train that far up. You only need to be about level 12, maybe even less if you're very good. So let's say you don't want to use Mudkip or Treecko or anyone else. Treecko, by the way, if you can get it up to level 13, it'll learn Mega Drain, and that's certainly recommended because it's a lot stronger. I don't have Treecko right now. Instead, I have Shroomish, which is another excellent option. If you get your Shroomish to at least level 12, it will have Mega Drain as well, and that is just really good against the gym. Just trust me on that. It does get Absorb earlier on, but it's not as good. It's so weak that you're probably going to have troubles with damage output. Other good options to consider would, of course, be Lotad. Yeah, Lotad is very nice. It gets Bubble at level 9, which is great. It's pretty powerful. It's a water type, so that's good. It could use Absorb instead. Mine doesn't have it, but it's not level 6 yet. It gets it at 6. And you could use that to heal up if you want, too. Also, if you get it to level 14, it evolves, and then it's crazy. Like, you don't even have to worry. If you're playing Omega Ruby, you'll have access to Seedot instead. Now, Seedot is not as good as Lotad against the gym, because it doesn't really have any Grass-type moves that it gets. But if you can level it up to level 14, you'll get Nuzleaf. Like, it'll evolve into Nuzleaf, and it'll learn Razor Leaf instantly when it levels up at level 14. And that is how you can easily defeat the gym. I already showed you Shroomish is a wonderful choice. So that kind of leaves Wingull here. And this is a risky choice. Like, using Wingull is definitely a risk. Because since it's part flying type, that means any rock type moves are going to hit it for a lot of damage. And that is not a good thing. While it can use Water Gun, and it can get Water Pulse at level 15. That's quite a bit away, but with Water Pulse, it's really good. Yeah, you could use that. Surskit, despite the fact that it's a water type, it just does not do enough damage. I don't recommend it. You could use it if you wanted. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, it's kind of rare, and I just don't think it'll do enough damage. And since it's part bug, it's weak to rock-type moves. Same goes for Beautifly and Dustox. While they both do have some moves that can help, particularly Dustox, Confusion does damage any of the Pokemon in the gym quite a lot because they have higher defense as a general rule than special defense. But since they're weak to rock, not generally a good idea. Makuhita here works great if you can level him up to level 13 and get Force Palm on him. but he'll disobey you, and that's kind of a shame too. So that's kind of what you're looking at for the gym. I guess Ralts may be an option, but also kind of risky due to its lower defense. And then anything I didn't list here is going to have some trouble because of resistances or weaknesses. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what sort of Pokemon you should be training before taking on the gym. I recommend training to about level 12. Of course, if you're experienced, you can try it at a lower level. And if you're struggling, feel free to level up your Pokemon beforehand. But let's check out the Rustboro City Gym. As soon as you enter, you're going to see the gym leader herself. Hello, you must be a new challenger. I am Roxanne, the Rustboro City Pokemon Gym Leader. I became a gym leader so that I may apply in battle all that I've learned at the Pokemon Trainer School. If you defeat me in a Pokemon battle, I'll present you with a gym badge as proof of your strength as a trainer. Please take up the challenge. I look forward to seeing you as a challenger. Until then, farewell. Yep, so she'll walk off after introducing herself, and you'll have this lovely view of the gym here with all sorts of cool fossils in the background. I think it looks nice. This guy's in every gym, and he'll kind of tell you some general advice about the gym you're in. In this case, he'll tell you about Roxanne, and she's a user of Rock-type Pokemon. It's very durable, but it can't stand Water-type and Grass-type moves. Come see me afterward after you've beaten the gym leader. Yeah, that's definitely some good advice. Again, they are weak to fighting and ground as well, but you don't really have access to a lot of those moves, or Pokemon with those moves. So really it's water and grass is the way to go. In order to get through here, well, there's actually a few ways. You could either just run forward and fight this trainer, or if you want, you can sneak past him this way. In fact, you can even do this for all of the trainers. See, you can kind of sneak around here. And then up here, if you just kind of go this way, walk on over here, you can sneak by the third trainer and then make your way up to the gym leader. However, you're missing out on valuable experience points if you do that. So I recommend still fighting everyone. Let's rewind this and head back to the beginning here. So let's start the fight against this guy right here. Don't take us gym trainers lightly. I'll show you why we're better. All right. We have to fight against youngster Josh. He's got a Geodude on his team. Thankfully, he's not very difficult at all. His first Geodude is at level 7. He does have another Geodude as well, but yeah. The only thing to keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that this one may have Sturdy. Both of them may have Sturdy. And what Sturdy does is it actually, if the Pokemon has full hit points, then it will endure a hit that knocks it out in one hit. So yeah, that means it has 1 hit point right now. It managed to survive the attack. Now Sturdy only works when the Pokemon's hit points are full. I'm just going to use Tackle. Even though it is resisted, it only has 1 hit point, and I'm guaranteed to do that much. Okay, here's the second Geodude. Let's go ahead and fight it. Not every Geodude has the Sturdy ability, though. Some Geodude will have Rock Head instead, which means you can knock them out with 1 hit. You were too good for me. I know. Okay, let's move forward here, and we're going to fight against the second trainer. I feel like switching out for Mudkip, though, just to give Mudkip a little bit of extra experience. If you can't beat me, you won't stand a chance against Roxanne. Alright, youngster Tommy. He has another Geodude. This one's a lot stronger than the other 2 Geodude you just fought, though. It's at level 10. But again, you can use the same basic principles. One thing, though, if you're using Mudkip, you may want to actually start by using Mud Slap instead of Water Gun. And the reason is, in case it does have Sturdy, you're at least doing some damage to negate Sturdy and lowering accuracy, meaning it might miss when it tries to attack you, and, you know, it's better to use an effect than not at all. There we go. Knocked that one out, no problem. Alright, we defeated Tommy. Wow, you've got some potential. You even get a little bit of money for this too, which is kind of nice. Okay, last but not least, we have yet one more trainer. Let's go ahead and fight her. I'll make you feel the power of the number 2 trainer at this school. School Kid Georgia. She too uses a Geodude. But you should be familiar with how to handle these things by now. Alright, I'm going to use Mud Slap against it, just in case it has Sturdy. Although it doesn't look like it really did all that much. Okay, that's fine. Let's use Water Gun to finish it off. How disappointing, I fell to number 3. Right, well soon I'm going to be number 1. Anyway, before taking on the gym leader, you may want to go back to the Pokemon Center to heal. However, if you have been conserving your potions rather well, you know, it's not the end of the world if you decide to use a potion on one of your Pokemon to save a trip. That's what I'm going to do right now, but if you're, you know, rather tight with your money, you might want to just run back, because it's easy enough to go back and heal up your Pokemon. So at this point, you're about to fight the gym leader. You want to make sure that you're leading with one of your main Pokemon, because her Pokemon are rather challenging if you're trying to fight them with, say, a Tailo or a Poochyena, because they have high defense and will resist a lot of attacks. They also do a lot of damage, too. In this case, the 2 that I have that'll be super effective against her are Mudkip and Shroomish. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and... actually, I will... Yeah, I'll lead with Shroomish. Let's go ahead and try that out. And here she is. The gym leader herself. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and talk to her. You may also want to save your game beforehand, just in case things go rough. You can always restart and try again without losing any of your money. Just as expected, I knew you and your Pokemon would be able to get this far. Now, would you kindly demonstrate how you battle with your Pokemon? Oh yeah! It's time to fight against the first gym leader in the game, leader Roxanne. She leads with her Geodude, level 12. Let's take a look at this thing. First of all, the battle arena looks pretty sweet. Yeah, so this Geodude's level 12, and it is, it can hit pretty hard. You have to watch out because it may do quite a bit of damage. It has a major weakness to either water or grass-type moves because it's a rock-ground Pokemon. That's not the only Pokemon she has on her team, though, but it will easily fall to a grass or water-type move. It has Rock Tomb on, well, for its moves, and that can do a lot of damage, and it lowers your speed stat, which is sort of a pain, really. Let's go ahead and just use Mega Drain. Oh, there's the Quick Claw in action. That's kind of useful. So, as you can see, this one here has Sturdy, so it gets to pull off Rock Tomb without any problems. And that did a fair amount of damage. Actually, Shroomish did take that attack fairly well. But, as a general rule, for any Pokemon that don't have a lot of defense, like, for instance, let me just see what Shroomish's defense even is. Yeah, it's 22, so it can take it quite well. But a lot of other Pokemon don't have such high defense and won't really like getting hit by that move. So at this point, she is probably going to want to heal her Pokemon up because she does have a potion, I think, that she can use. Yep, there you go. She'll only use that when her Pokemon's hit points fall in the red zone there. And thankfully, it's not enough to totally heal the Pokemon. So you can just follow up with another Mega Drain or Water Gun or anything like that to easily knock out the Pokemon. Okay, next up is her Nose Pass. Now, unlike Geodude, Nose Pass is not part ground type, meaning your water and grass type moves will only do twice as much damage as usual, as opposed to 4 times as much. That's why those Geodudes are so easy to take out. Let's go ahead and try to fight this level 14 Nose Pass with Mudkip. By the way, Geodude also has Tackle and Defense Curl. Defense Curl raises defense and makes using physical-based moves a pain against it. while Tackle just hits pretty hard. This thing also has Rock Tomb and Tackle, but it has Harden instead, which is essentially the same as Defense Curl. So let's go ahead and try use Water Gun just to see how much damage it does. If you're expecting it to do a ton, you'll be rather surprised when you find out it doesn't really come close to knocking it out. This is going to take 3 hits, and Rock Tomb does a fair amount of damage as well. If you have Mudkip, you could go ahead and use Mud Slap just to lower its accuracy. Otherwise, you can just keep using Water Gun over and over again, and that'll work. Same basic strategy applies if you start with a Trico, except you should have access to Mega Drain instead, which is much better. If you feel like it, you can use Growl, which will weaken its moves. That's more useful, though, if you don't have anything super effective against it. You can use moves like Tail Whip, like Leer, or like Growl to really affect its stats and make it so it does a lot less to your Pokemon. If ever you get too weak during the battle, be sure to heal your Pokemon by using some of the potions that you have. With a little bit of effort, you'll be able to defeat the first gym leader in the game, Roxanne. And you'll get quite a lot of money for your victory. I understand. The Pokemon League's rules state that trainers receive this if they defeat a gym leader. Please accept the official Pokemon League Stone Badge. Here it is, the very first badge in the game, the Stone Badge. The Stone Badge enables Pokemon to use the HM move Cut outside of battle. All Pokemon up to level 20, even those you get in trades, will also obey you. And please take this with you too. That's right, you get TM39, Rock Tomb, for defeating her. This move, Rock Tomb, not only inflicts damage by dropping rocks, it also lowers the target's speed. If you use a TM, it instantly teaches the move to a Pokemon. You can use a TM as many times as you want, so please try it out. Yep, that's that. Cool, so we've earned the very first gym badge, which you can actually see if you go over to your name thing on the menu. This shows you your trainer card, by the way. You can press A to view the badges, and yeah, now we've gotten the Stone Badge. Awesome. Whoops. Get out of here. Cool, so now that you've done that, go ahead and leave the gym. You might want to talk to this guy afterwards. Whoa, what a breathtaking victory. My cheering must have worked. Great, check your trainer card. Right, I've already done that. Cool. As you leave the Pokemon gym, out of the way, move it! Yeah, you'll see some trouble brewing. Wait, please, don't take those parts. Uh-oh. Yeah, either Team Aqua or Team Magma will run off with some parts. So run up over here and find the researcher from earlier. You're that fantastic trainer who helped me in Petalburg Woods. Help me, I was robbed by Team Aqua. Or Team Magma if you're playing Omega Ruby. I have to get the Devon parts back. If I don't, I'm going to be in serious trouble. Yep. Now, that wasn't really too much of a difference. I'm not going to show you what it looks like in Omega Ruby because, you know, it's just a grunt running away. That's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, you're gonna need to go over here, over to the east, on Route 116, and then to the Rust Turf Tunnel in order to track that guy down and retrieve the Devon parts. However, before you do that, there are a few things that you should probably know now that you've earned your first gym badge. First of all, let's check out the Pokemart. The selection of items available changes based on how many badges you have. Now that we have the first badge, you can buy Pokeballs, Great Balls, which are actually 50% better than a standard Pokeball. And they're pretty nice, although they're more expensive. You can buy Super Potions, which I don't actually recommend doing just yet, because you don't really need them. And there are much more efficient items you can buy that cost less and actually even heal more. You can buy Paralyze Heals, Awakenings, Burn Heals, Ice Heals. These all heal various status conditions. And you can buy Repels, which will keep wild Pokemon away from you for 100 steps. Yeah, that's, not a great selection, but it doesn't hurt picking up a few Great Balls just in case. I'm gonna get 3. And let's see, I have 11. I'm just going to get 10 more of these standard Pokeballs. Great. And I get a Premier Ball as a bonus. One thing to keep in mind, you can actually buy 10 of any type of Pokeball now, to get a Premier Ball. So that's kind of cool, actually. It didn't used to be that way, even as soon as Pokemon X and Y, or as recently as Pokemon X and Y. If you have not yet gotten HM01 cut, you can find it in here. I did that in the last episode, so I do have the HM for it. You can now use HM01 cut outside of battle. I already taught it to my Zigzagoon, as you can see down there, and again, I recommend only teaching it to Pokemon that you don't plan on using, simply because it's not really all that great of a move. You know what, I'm gonna go heal really quick. Okay, all healed up. In fact, actually, while I'm in here, let me just see if there's any Pokemon that can learn Rock Tomb. You'd be surprised how many Pokemon can actually learn Rock Tomb. So let's go ahead and teach this to Mudkip. It's a nice 60 power Rock-type move that a lot of non-Rock-type Pokemon can learn. So it's great for getting extra type coverage in. Let's go ahead and teach that. Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, so that should do it. Cool. Okay, so before I go over to Route 116, I want to show you some of the areas you can return to now that you can use Cut outside of battle. Also, at this point, I'm pretty sure you'll now be able to have rematches against trainers. As you can see here, on Route 104, southern part of it, it says Battle Ready next to Winston's name. That means you can actually go back there and fight him right away. This shows you all the Pokemon in this area that I've chosen, in this case Route 104, but I could also view details here. For instance, Calvin, he's ready for a battle again too. You couldn't do this earlier because I think you need to have your first badge in order to do so. So we'll go back and we'll fight Winston again. But let me just show you really quick. I don't even need to cut away because, well, actually, I guess I kind of do need to cut away. That's right. So if you have cut, you can press A when you're facing one of these prickly trees, and you'll be able to cut it down. You need to make sure you have the first badge in order to do that, though. But yeah, so let's see. What was hiding back here? It's a revive. This is a single-use item that will revive a fainted Pokemon and give it half of its hit points back. Very useful to have. Typically, they cost 1,500 Pokédollars, though, or prize money. But yeah, having that's rather handy. The only other place right now that you can go back to cut down a prickly tree is at the very end of Petalburg Woods. If you cut this down, you don't really get access to any new Pokemon, but you can get a few new items. Over here, there's this lady right here, and she'll notice the Pokénav Plus you have, and she'll give you a Miracle Seed item. This is a great item if you started with Trico or if you're using a Grass-type Pokemon that isn't Trico, because it increases the power of that Pokemon's Grass-type moves while it's held. So, I'm actually going to switch out the Quick Claw for this Miracle Seed. That means Shroomish will do 20% more damage with any of its Grass-type moves. If you started with Trico, definitely be sure to give it the Miracle Seed at this point in the game, because you might as well. I guess I might as well give, Mudkip here the Quick Claw, because there's no real better item for it at this point. And it's such a shame to leave, you know, a Quick Claw, not having anyone use it. Whoops. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so while you're back here, you may notice this little rock back here. The surface is covered with moss. Touching it feels good somehow. This doesn't really mean anything to you. Well, let me get this Great Ball right next to that mossy rock. Yeah, that mossy rock doesn't really mean too much right now. However, this is where you would go if you wanted to evolve your Eevee into Leafeon. You can't get Eevee through normal gameplay in Pokemon Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, at least not before you've beaten the game. So you'd have to trade for one at this point if you wanted an Eevee. But this is where you would go if you wanted to evolve it into Leafeon. Not overly useful to know, but just so you know what that rock is there for. Let's see what we got over there. Ah, just a slack off. I don't need that. Okay, so let's go over south over here and see what else is around. No, I don't need you, Zigzagoon. Go away. Alright, hop down that ledge, and then right over here, you'll find another X attack, actually. It seems like we've gotten quite a few of these things, huh? A little bit further south, you will find, actually, the exit way back at the start of Petalburg Woods. That's fine though, because you know what? We want to go back and rematch Rich Boy Winston or whatever his name is. Let's knock out the Zigzagoon first, because my Shroomish here could use a nice little level up. Awesome, level 14. Cool, so we're back at the beginning again. Let's go ahead and leave, and we're going to see what's up. Now, what you may notice on the bottom screen, you'll see a little icon on the AreaNav that looks kind of like a trainer. Well, if we go to the AreaNav, you can see it a little bit more enlarged. And if you tap that icon, it takes you straight to the trainer's eyes. And that shows you any Pokemon trainers nearby that are battle ready. In this case, Rich Boy Winston, as well as Lass Haley. Interesting. Okay, so let's go and fight Winston here. As you move around or as time passes or something, trainers will want to rematch you. They'll also get more difficult as you fight them again and again, and as you get more gym badges. You have to do a combination of these things before they get their more challenging teams. But remember how Rich Boy Winston had, oh, I don't remember what level his Zigzagoon was. I think it was level 8. Well, now it's at level 13. So if you fight him enough times, and as you get more badges, his team will actually change. It'll get much better. So keep that in mind when you're rematching trainers. But they won't get too much more challenging than where you're at. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to fight level 30s at this point. It's based on how many badges you have as well. And even if you have, say, all 8 badges, that doesn't mean you're going to just, right from the get-go fight trainers with the highest level Pokemon. You'll have to rematch them several times. Oh, look at that! Effect Spore worked. Awesome. Oh, but Shroomish flinched. Yeah, this can be a good way to get a lot of additional money, as well as getting some extra experience. Oh, right, and he still has that full restore. Ah, darn it. Okay, well, let's just use Mega Drain again. And one more time. Oh, don't miss with Sand Attack, please. Okay, wonderful. There we go. Oh yeah, got a lot of experience now. Plus, 1560 Pokédollars. Nice! Okay, well, there's not really that much to do back here. So, I'm gonna head back on over to Rustboro City really quick. Alright, I made my way back to Rustboro City. This is where you're going to need to be anyway, because you actually have to go to Route 116, as I mentioned earlier. And I think that'll be our next destination. But you know what? I think that wraps it up for now. So, we'll check out Route 116 on the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.